Good evening. Hey Hillary, how you doing? Joining us tonight. We're gonna do a 7 Wednesday night live. Tonight, we're gonna talk about don't let your ex keep you from your next. This is another topic that was brought up to us by some of our DAR members. They are from the real members. And this one is a doozy because we have to think about this a lot. Your ex is a pivotal factor in your life. Actually, all your exes are pivotal factors in your life because they can affect you in a negative way and positive ways. And it will affect you how you treat your next person, your forever person, or how can it keep you from your forever person, the person that was meant for you, that partner that was in your corner. Hold on 1 second while I turn my AC off. Gotta get rid of some of this background noise. All right. I'm glad. Ooh, I looked at the replay. I'm glad I had pants on. All right. So last week we touched on soul ties. Soul ties and today's topic kind of go hand in hand. We talked about having to break soul ties and embracing soul ties. But when you're trying to move on from an ex, it's very, very important that we break these soul ties because you're really moving on. And when you're moving on from somebody, the history in the past is going to infiltrate your future. And that's the thing we have to watch out for. And I was thinking about that. How could my ex keep me from my future partner, or better yet, my forever partner? You know, and a lot of times it deals with the breakups and how we handle breakups. And if they're good breakups, bad breakups, did we learn from them? Did we not learn from them? Those are things that we have to actually take in consideration. You know, I wonder, if anybody in the group ever had a good breakup? Because oftentimes all we ask about is, or we hear about is these bad breakups, what the other person did, or what we did wrong, or what happened. But I haven't had good breakups or mutual breakups where there's no hard feelings. It just wasn't meant to be. And when you have those good breakups, you still have to learn the lessons because even in the relationship where you had a mutual split, what's the word I'm looking for? Mutual. I don't know the big word for it. When you had those type of splits, you still can take lessons from them because you don't do everything right in any relationship. I don't care if you didn't do something like you never put the seat down when you was finished. You never do everything right, but you have to take these out and take these good things and apply them to your future relationships and learn from them. Now, unfortunately, the bad breakups what tends to hurt us, and when we dealing with future partners and future mates, because the traumas and dramas and all the things we had going on in the bad breakups tend to stop us and affect us where we can't move on. Hey, babe, I see you watching. You and when you take all of these on, you're stifling your growth. We often talk about, you know, losses are more learning lessons. L's don't stand for losses. They stand for learning. Well, let's think about it. We learn from it. For instance, hey Shy, hey cuz, I see you out there. one of the questions I for the people that joined us, one of the questions I was asking is like, have you ever had a good breakup? You know, if you had a good breakup, just raise your hand. What I mean by good breakup is like where everything is mutual. We just said we're not meant for each other. We're not meant to succeed. You know, those are good breakups. So I applaud good breakups because that's how things are supposed to be when you're an adult. You know, and as I'm sitting here talking, I can sometimes see even good breakups leading to you actually stopping you from your next partner. Those good breakups can start, and I'm gonna address that later on in the program. But let's start with the bad breakups. These bad breakups, you should know. Like when we talk about red flags, we often talk about red flags in this group. Let's take those. Let's learn from it now. But we take these red flags that we learned from our previous breakups. We can say, "Hey, I can recognize this, and I know what to look for. So when I'm looking for my next, I know who not to deal with or not to address. You know, or when we don't recognize red flags and didn't learn our lesson, one, it's going to keep us in that circle. We spinning our wheels. We're trying to go for our ideal partner, but we can't get no traction, so we can't go further. We can't go forward. You know, and these are things I'm talking about. We have to learn our lesson because guess what? I get you there plenty of times where the person that was meant for us was right in our face. There's plenty of times where the person who we needed to pursue was in arm's reach. Well, we was too busy reaching backwards, trying to grab something in the rear view mirror, trying to bring it along, and we were missing what's right in front of us. Because you think about it, when you try and pull something along, that's pulling you back, that's hindering you. You can't go forward. Yes, man, we missed that a lot. You know how uncomfortable it is reaching back and constantly reaching back, trying to bring stuff, pull stuff. You know, you know how heavy that wagon is when you full of dumb shit. That wagon that's full of toxic things that you accepted, and now that toxic stuff is keeping you from that next person. Yes, it's hindering. Exactly, baby. It's hindering the growth and stopping from being with the right partner because that right partner is not reaching back. They're in front of you or beside you. They're not hindering you. They working with you. They're making the load lighter. But you don't know how. But because you're not used to that load being light, it's uncomfortable for us. And the uncomfortable things are the hardest things. And when you're trying to go to your next, you're going to have to be uncomfortable. We're going to be uncomfortable. And speaking of uncomfortability, if that's a word, I don't know. But being uncomfortable is growth. When you go work out, hey Floyd, what's going on? So when you're uncomfortable, it allows growth. So think about when you work out and you hitting the muscles. I did say muscle. I hope I didn't say muscles. When you're hitting the muscles, or when you're doing exercises, and if you're doing it right, you're hitting it just right. The next day you're sore, you're uncomfortable. That's your body adapting and trying to improve itself, trying to grow the muscle, trying to build your endurance, trying to make you healthy. And being uncomfortable is helping you healthy relationship. You know, that's and with things like that, that's what we got to address. You got to be addressed. I got to be uncomfortable. I got to get away from the normal thing of my ex. And when we talk about exes, especially like the soul ties that we addressed last week or 2 weeks ago, when we addressed those soul ties, we got to break them and stop doing things like tracking our ex. We keeping eyes on our ex and watching what the ex how they move. You too busy watching what somebody else is doing to pay attention what you should be looking for, what you should be pursuing. But you get mad when you're by yourself and you say, "Hey, why am I single? What am I doing wrong?" Part of the thing is you're doing wrong. What you're doing wrong is worry about somebody else that you should be worrying about yourself. You know, oh, he found somebody else. What's she like? Or or he with her, huh? Or she with that dude. Or she gonna get with him. He ain't got nothing on me. Or here. She couldn't wait to get with him after she got rid of me, or we broke up. That's too much energy. Why you gotta focus that energy on our future partner? We have to focus on energy finding that person. Find, hey Missy, how you doing? You know, putting that energy going forward, putting that energy working on ourselves to learn and fix the mistakes we might have did. Or I'm not or but and taking the energy and improving the things we were already good at. You know, we're not perfect, but we strive for perfection in a lot of ways. We strive to be perfect for our mate, our life partner. You know, when we had to get rid of that jealousy of the past and look for that celebration in our future. We have to, those are things that we have to do. You know, I'm not saying, hey, if you see somebody, if you're an ex in the street, you ain't got to speak and be cordial, but we don't have to necessarily give all that energy that we're wondering about what they was doing, how they did it, and what's going on to a point where it's affecting us in our life. I see, like Kia said, way too much energy. Our energy is valuable. Our energy is more valuable than money. We don't want to waste our money. We damn sure don't waste that energy because I want to put that energy in somebody who is watching me, working with me, improving me. That's what I want to give my energy to. Give that energy to where it belongs. Hey, Summer, I see you out there. Get that energy that's gonna reciprocate. You know, the energy of moving forward get you to a destination. The energy of trying to pull something along with you, it's just slowing you down. When you pulling something, what it's doing is making you tired. And you're getting tired and frustrated because you're not getting to the destination that you so desire. That to that destination of that partner that we want. Matter of fact, what do you and everybody in the chat, tell me in one word, what are you looking for in a partner? One or two words, what you looking for in a partner? Real quick. What you want? Then when you write it or type it in the chat, that's the energy that's where you need to put the energy at. That's what I'm talking about. That's right. Hashtag someone worthy of your energy. Hot damn, I'm talking about it. Let's see what this chat says. Let me see what Floyd say. A lot of people don't hear from the ex before moving on to the next. Hot damn, preach it. Which taints our judgment. Now we are judging the next based on the sins of our ex. And that's what we're talking about. And that's a lot of it is in a nutshell. That's a lot of it. You bring it all peace. Let's put an energy to a peace. But bringing all that sins want to get out. Sins want to cause chaos. Because Floyd says he want peace. Sin and peace don't necessarily go hand in hand. Someone says we want loyalty and partnership. Where that's where our energy should go, into that loyalty. Somebody's going to give you that loyalty. Because a lot of us had previous relationships where loyalty was or lack of loyalty was a factor, and we was giving energy to that. You know, another thing we have to do, we have to forgive ourselves. We talked about it when the soul type up. We have to forgive ourselves because guess what? There's some of us that was one being that was being pulled. We was the one being pulled. We ain't gonna skip over that shit. We were the toxic ones. We was the ones who wasn't doing everything right. But we gotta forgive ourselves and do better. You know, we can evolve. Okay, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry, lady, in my past. I apologize for not being the best partner for you. I apologize for doing that dumb stuff. I'm sorry. You don't have to forgive me for the lack of loyalty I placed upon you. You don't have to necessarily forgive me for the lack of, you know, fidelity I didn't give to you. You don't have to forgive me, but I'm forgive myself because my next, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna give my next those sins. I'm not gonna give my next my infidelity. I'm not gonna give my next my disloyalty. I'm not because just like we gotta learn from previous relationships. I'm gonna learn what I'm gonna do right next time. I know I did it wrong. I know I screwed up. Right? Don't give that next the mess because we gotta forgive ourselves. We're gonna even when we find that partner that we meant to be with, we're gonna mess up. We're not perfect, but we're not going to mess up with intention. And that's what we do a lot of times. We will intentionally mess up the person that was for us, was meant for us, the one that we're trying to pursue, thinking that they're too good for us because we didn't forgive ourselves. You know, that's a big part of things. We have to forgive ourselves, you know, because it doesn't matter whose fault it is. We have to move on. Do I should I feel bad for putting somebody else in a bad place? Yes. Should I feel bad for the person that was trying to pull me and now I was keeping them from their necks? Yeah, I should. But I still got to forgive myself, and I'm sorry for them. Where it says a healthy relationship is something we all are worthy of. Yes, it is. Heal and expect healthy relationships because you are worthy. We are worthy. You know, and this is why we have to, with our exes, we have to close that chapter and move on to the next page. You know, because that next page is probably that probably might be our best chapter, or at least it's a better chapter. You know, when you tell when you're reading a story, you get the build up and the climax. Turn that chapter. You still trying to get to that climax. Floyd says a healthy relationship is something we're all worthy of. Oh, I read that already. Oops, my bad. Okay, I'm finding it difficult to trust someone with my heart again. I'm worth. Well, these damn things move fast. Again, y'all on it. All right. I'm finding it difficult to trust someone with my heart again. I'm working on it, but I acknowledge it. Issue on my end. Yeah. With any way of healing is acknowledging it. When we do something wrong, we acknowledge it. As a man, one of the one of the things we guard the most is our heart. Part of being tough is guarding your emotions and being, well, I'll take that back. Let me rephrase that. One of the perceptions of being tough is guarding your emotions and your heart. Now, we have to break that, I'm in a healthy relationship. I give her my heart willingly. I have no problem with that now. She has the best version of me so far. I was one of the ones in previous relationships in my past who did that dumb stuff, who wasn't the loyal one, or no, who did infidelity in a relationship. Yeah, I did that. Now I rarely think about that because I'm focused. I put my energy where it belongs. I'm putting the energy in my current relationship. That's what I value, and that's where that energy should go where it values. And earlier we talked about the comfort of those relationships. Well, we have to also realize coming when we're moving to our next, we have to expect it's going to be a new normal because our ex, we expect, or we, with our ex, that was a certain normal, a certain level of normality. Yeah, I'm making up words today. I don't know if normality is a word, but it's going to fit today. So we got to look for the new norm, and it's going to be uncomfortable. And when being uncomfortable, it allows for the muscles to grow, to build our endurance. You know, the endurance for this race. No, or this challenge of our next relationship. And guess what? Don't get discouraged when you're looking for your next. It don't work out, or it's not right there. That's life. Just because you no longer with your ex, don't mean the next person you run into is their person for you, is your real for next. Sometimes the person who's next is just next. Next don't always equal forever. Hey Katrina, I see you. We have to. Those are things we like. I have a buddy of mine. He loves saying. He always say this. Especially when I was dating. He said, "Marcus, sometimes you gotta kiss a few frogs. Everybody gotta kiss a few frogs to find that prince or that princess, or hell, at our age, that king and that queen. Because what's easy isn't always right. It takes work, dedication to make the next person, or you have to find that other person and make it work. Because your perfect person doesn't come with an instruction guide. It comes with the hard work, learning your lessons from previous relationships, your previous mistakes, also learning what the things you did correct and transferring it. Speaking of transferring, there's another thing we gotta realize when the ex is keeping us from our next. We can't transfer, like Floyd was saying, the sins to our next relationship. But let's flip that around a little bit. The good qualities our ex had, or the certain qualities our ex did, the good things that you like, you wanted, you appreciated, you can't expect your next person to do that. That might be exclusive for the previous relationship. You know, the next person is a totally different person with a different set of qualities. They may bring something different to relationship. This is not build a bear. I say you can't just take this quality from this past relationship, slap it in this relationship, and say, hey, this is now I'm good. No, or you can't say I want this part from this guy or this part from this girl, mix it with this person, and and now we got the perfect meal. It don't work that way. So don't transfer. Don't expect the what you want to be always transfer like that. They did this, or do they do this or did that? We gotta step in reality. You know, because the next person is gonna do things different, and it's gonna be it may be uncomfortable, or it may be it's not your normal. But like we said before, it allows the growth. You know, because now we got to be ready for the work. Because guess what? Now we got past our ex, and we go into the next, and the next don't work out, and it was unnormal for us. It was not the norm for us. But guess what? Our endurance built up. Now we're stronger. We're getting healthier. We're doing the different exercises for that nice relationship, that healthy relationship that desiring. Whew, these syllables are killing me today. All right. We have to embrace these new norms. And that comes with being one, open mind. You know how they say a closed mouth don't get fed? Open mind don't get open mind don't get stimulated. Excuse me, a closed mind don't get stimulated. A, a closed mind don't get healed. A closed mind don't move forward. Because at the end of the day, all we got this is all going to deal with work. We have to work, work, work. Because guess what? When you're ready or when that next is turning out to be your forever person, the work don't stop. You work, the work don't stop. It's continuous. You continue. You have to work the muscle. You continuously have to build the endurance because endurance is for longevity. The muscles for the holding this relationship together or keeping a relationship together and working. Hey, Andre, you know, all of this is needed, but at the end of the day, we can't grow, we can't get stronger, we can't build our endurance if we keep looking back at the X. The X served the purpose. The X showed us what we did wrong. The X shows what we did right. The X showed us what we need to do better. The X's served the purpose. The X made us stronger because you have to be strong to get to your next person. You have to be strong to be with your forever. That's right, Missy. Continuous work in a relationship, man. Like cause Missy, we was talking when we had the husbands on. Your husband he's a stand-up guy who embodies this stuff. He's a dorm member who embodies this stuff. We have to keep the work going and don't let the X hold us back. You know, I'm really enjoyed this conversation. You know, before I go, I want to know. I ask anybody out there: do you feel your ex made you stronger? I'm curious. Yeah, X is an X. Yes, kid, an X is an X for a reason. Yeah, babe, X is an X for a reason. Let's talk. Wait a minute. Let's stop right there. If they your, why do we break up? Why do we break up? And if we keep going back to it, back and forth, to X, apparently that's the reason why they gonna stay. They need to stay your ex. Floyd said yes and no. You know, they made you stronger. You know, the no part, I think we got to flip it somehow. It may not be the easiest thing, and I don't know all situations right now. In this mindset I'm in right now, I have to look back and look at all of them exes. Like I was like I got stronger from it. Hmm. You know, because if I go back and look at them situations in the past, and if I take 47-year-old Marcus and put him in that situation now, shit'd be different. That's right. Stronger for your mate or for my mate. Yeah, them exes made me stronger for my mate too. You know, Babe said, you know, exes taught me some valuable lessons. They did. These lessons are strong that we have. Every matter of fact, every day we live is a lesson. What's going on, Don? I ain't seen you in a minute. I need to holler at you offline. We need to catch up. Um, but man, I love this topic. This topic was actually bring up one of our DAR members. I mean, I can't recall which one off the top of my head because it ties in so much of what we talked about previously. You know, Floyd said I got stronger towards doing what makes me happy, but weaker in the sense that where I started questioning myself and my worth. But guess what? When you stop questioning yourself and your worth, like I said, and you put yourself when you heal past that and you used to go back in situation, it'd be a whole lot different. Like I'm good. That don't phase me no more because I could take that my energy now and put it in myself and my worth. I mean, because right now you doing things to make you happy, and that's part of being in your peace. You know, me, me and baby's going, we doing some things in our life right now, and one of the things she's looking forward to is another level of peace. I hear you, babe, and I'm fortunate enough to be a strong enough partner for her to help her achieve her next level of peace. And I'm strong enough a partner because I learned from my exes to do better and be a contributor to her peace. I don't want her to pull me. Mm-mm. I want us to run together side by side. And she says, as I said, bro, we are worthy of being a good man. Will definitely attract you a great woman. It will. You're worthy, and don't forget it. Push them away. Oh, outstanding words. You know, I wish that God said, "Hey, I'm a DM you the date where your perfect mate is going to appear in your life." It don't work. I wish it worked like that, but it don't. It took me 40 something years to get my perfect mate. You know, 40 something years, over 4 decades. And I'm gonna speak to you, babe, about this. You are a 4 decade wait. So Kia, the co-founder of DAR, you're a 4 decade wait. Actually, four and a half. Four decades and 5 years. Wait. And you're worth it. I'm gonna give you a shout out. You're worth it. And I'm fortunate enough to be at a situation where mentally and I can actually appreciate and contribute to that, contribute to, not being pulled. No. Yes, show yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace, everybody. We're not perfect. And let's go back to what I said earlier. We got to forgive ourselves, move on, and find our person. Be ready for them, and don't let them exes hinder that movement. If you so, I want everybody. If you have some more topics that you want us to address and talk about, shoot it to us. Also, Tell everybody. Subscribe. We broadcast. You don't. We broadcast on YouTube at the same time we broadcast here on this Facebook page. You don't have to be part of the group. Just send them a link. We brought we on. They can see us live on YouTube, and they can subscribe. Everybody subscribe and share it. We on the podcast. Share them on all our streaming platforms, our podcast platforms. I probably did ask the question. I switch. Remind me the question. My mind is gone. What was the question? Remind me the question, babe. This is why this is why she's good for me because she keeps me in check. She keeps me focused. Because I really don't remember the question I asked. So now, with that being said, I'm gonna give about 3 more seconds to type that question in. If I remind me what it is. Oh, did you learn from your ex? I think. Yeah, I thought we addressed that, but I tend to go scatterbrain. Um, yeah, a couple people answered that question. Yes and no. We talked about that, but I really want everybody to learn from their ex. Matter of fact, when you driving, next time you drive, think about what you learned in your previous relationships. And if you're with your forever person at this moment, embrace them. Oh, what are the good parts we can take away from our previous relationships? That was the question I asked earlier. What are good parts that we can take from our previous relationships? You know, I can some of the good parts I could take away is I can still stay. You know, I had a previous relationship where I was appreciated more of as a man, and I was reminded of it. You know, I've been, previous relationship. I was reminded, hey, let me. You don't have to be everything yourself sometimes. You know, those are things. Sometimes being reminded that I had to know things like that. One of the previous relationships I had learned from was, you know, assume your role, make the decisions, and sometimes I still forget that. But assume your role. I think that's a good topic for a men discussion, or just assume your role. And I don't want to drift too far about that because I'll be start a whole nother hour. Um, so Babe says focus on the good parts, distract us from the negative, so we can have more positive energy about our relationships. What's going on, Daniel? You know these exes, like I said, every time can serve a role in our life. They just can't. They just can't have a sustaining part in our life. You know, you ran. They ran their course in our life. We're in a whole different direction. We're in a whole different trail. We're on a whole different plateau. We're in a whole different plane, I should say. Hey Janelle, I see you out there. These exes will should never keep you from your next, and damn sure should keep you from your forever person. You know, like Floyd said, don't let them sins of the past. He says, Kia says that if we focus on they did this to me. I'm gonna say we get in bed. They focus on they did this to me. They did it to me. They hurt me. They cheated. They lied. You can they lie. They can have low vibrational energy and push that into the world. Yeah, I'm blocking that shit. I'm blocking that shit. I'm gonna figure a way to block that shit because that low vibrational will not enter my next relationships. That's the mentality we gotta have. Focus on the right energy, right on. And unfortunately, it's too many times our exes is giving us the wrong was giving us the wrong energy, vibrating on the wrong frequency. And that's why they should stay our ex. You we find Babe says we find so much comfort in complaining and being angry. Switch and see what happens in your life. Yes, and it, like I was saying earlier, if I'm the ex that was the bad energy, I need to switch because that bad energy I was given as a bad partner or bad boyfriend was hindering me from my personal growth. And if I didn't forgive myself, I would not be where I'm at now, working hard on my current relationship. All right, Daniel says, "True minds almost take." So true minds almost taking me to a dark place. I'm so happy I overcame. Man, and that's the unfortunate part about breakups. We sometimes we go into that dark place. We go no, we grieve the breakup. We grieve the breakup. You know, but this is where we have good people around us who help us, who we could talk to, we can vent to. Like we talked about soul ties, I keep bringing it up. They said having positive people around you. That positive people with that good energy, it spreads. Good energy is contagious, just like that bullshit is. We need good people around us, good energy around us. And so that when that darkness of getting that dark places starts creeping in and getting bigger and overtaking us, that energy, that good energy of the people around us, it battles that. It battles. But it battles it with the open mind that you have of trying to say, I gotta get away from this dark place and get ready for my future. Taking the steps to heal and heal from the grieving of the previous relationship. Because guarantee, I guarantee, like Justin Wilson used to say back in the day, I guarantee that the bad relationship you had There are a million other people who had that same bad relationship. And I guarantee there's another million who had it worse and battled through it. And there's millions out there who have overcame and found that next who was good for them. When they kiss another frog, it turned into that king. Or when they kissed another frog, it turned into that queen. You know, these exes, like I said, I'm not going to downgrade exes because not all exes are bad. At the end of the day, we want to take the ex, learn from it, and move on to our next. Because just like they're your ex, you were their ex. You see what I'm saying? It takes two to be an ex in the real world. Well, in the true world. All right. I love everybody. I love the participation we had tonight. Hold on. Before I go, babe, Kia said, my personal testimony. My ex-husband cheated, and my ex-fiance cheated on me. I didn't blame Marcus. That would be me. Hey. Or see him in the same way. Only because I healed. I hadn't healed from a previous relationship. I just went into it bitter and angry. Being open to love after forgiving myself made this relationship much more syllables getting me again. Much more fulfilling. I hear you, babe. This is a fulfilling relationship. But we're still, and like I was saying, we're still working. You're my forever, but you're still my forever work. I wouldn't be any place other than where I'm at. No. I have, like I said, I have cheated on exes. I've been cheated on. I also, been in situations where I thought we were moving toward being in a relationship, and it was one-sided. I did not let that affect my future. I love differently now. I love it more understanding now. I love respectfully more. And a lot of that came from what I got from exes, good and bad. And hell, and truth be told, a lot of that came from discussing stuff with date affirm the real. So everybody, spread the love, spread the message, and spread the channel. I'm out. See you next time. Thank you. Seeing eyes of mine, you see, there are no trees inside of me.